What is up, weather enthusiasts? I'm your host, Pat's Path Predictor. Tonight, we are once again going into the weather. I hope you guys really enjoyed that intro. I'm sure I know a lot of people did. Tonight, we have a full house here at Storms United. We're going to go ahead and start off. Let's go ahead and start off with Tristan. Tristan, say hello.
Good evening, everybody.
We have Yoshi. Say hello.
Hello.
We got Weather Kingdom in here. Say hello tonight.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Yeah.
Wherever you are from the world.
Yep. We also have Brendan in here, who is our general manager at Storms United. Brendan, say hello.
Good evening.
We also have Daniel in here tonight, one of our moderators. Daniel.
Hello.
Yeah, we also have John, who is our head admin. John, say hello.
What's up?
All right. We also got Ian in here as well. Ian.
What's good, y'all? We're hyping this up big time.
Yeah, we definitely are. We definitely started with that intro, though. And we also have Ricky and Alex in here who are, I know Ricky's muted. Alex is going to mainly be doing behind-the-scenes stuff for us here at Storms United. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. We have a lot to talk about tonight. So let's go ahead.
I do got the latest information from all knowing.
Yep,
so
I'm just
share my screen here. We can start.
Let's go ahead and get right into it in a second. But here's the situation we have. We got a potential tropical cyclone 9, and we have Hurricane John to talk about tonight. So that's the main focus. Tristan, go ahead. You wanted to share something?
Oh, yeah, so I got the latest information out of all the NOAA stuff. Of course, that will be changed tomorrow, but I want to go over the latest information, starting from the Storm Prediction Center, what's going on right now, and the Weather Prediction Center. Right now, we are looking at the surface of satellite. It shows a 1,005 millibar pressure a little bit ago. It just rise to 1,006.3. And this system is organizing. It looks like the MLC and the LLC, if they're not stacked, they're very close because of the way the system has been organizing today. Convection has been beautiful, and it's doing its job. It's doing exactly so far what it was forecasted to do. Let's look at the Storm Prediction Center day 3 real quick for portions of the Florida Panhandle. Given the forecast track for the tropical cyclone by the National Hurricane Center and model guidance, there is potential for some low-level wind fields to increase in parts of central and southern Florida through Thursday morning and given to the trough to the north. Uncertainty of the exact position of the system and the bands of the system and the evolution will continue to make the Storm Prediction Center cautious about a marginal risk of tornadoes for day 3. There is the predictability too low for day 4, and they explain it as some severe potential may develop over parts of the south and southeast United States, potentially with the tropical cyclone over the western Caribbean. Again, evolution, uncertainty, and evolution, they use my word there, a track of the system precludes severe probabilities at this time. So right now, this is from the National Weather Service in Tallahassee. Possible flash flooding, local considerable across the forecast area later this week. And I would like to go over and read this. This is important information, especially for area people that are under the zone. As PTC-9 approaches the forecast area later this week, widespread moderate to heavy rain is expected across southeast Alabama, southwest Georgia, and the Florida Panhandle and the Big Bend. The current forecast calls for 3 to 6 inches of rain, with isolated areas of 10 inches possible, which could lead some flash flooding, and some of it will be considerable. The Weather Prediction Center has issued a moderate risk, and a flood watch will be likely. And for people that didn't know, the National Weather Service in Miami is also considering a flood watch for 2 to 4 inches of rain and PWAT values of 2.3 to 2.5, also associated with PTC-9. Here's the latest on the rainfall graph right now. 10 to 15 inches expected across a large part of Florida, Georgia, parts of South Carolina, even now the Southwest Virginia. 7 inches of rain at least, and some decent heavy rains across Arkansas as the trough and the storm does a Fujiwara dance across that region. And of course, we will explain that later. For day 3, because the trough is getting the tropical moisture from the system, a slight risk of flash flooding is in effect for parts of western North Carolina, parts of southeastern Tennessee, going into northern and northwestern Georgia, and central to northeast Alabama. Day 4, a moderate risk. We will likely get a high risk of flooding, depending on the data. We also got a slight risk from basically Naples, Florida, all the way towards the parts of western North Carolina, parts of Tennessee, going to northeastern Mississippi, almost the whole state of Alabama. The whole state of Georgia is under either a slight or a moderate risk. That is the latest information from all the NOAA agencies about PTC 9 as of 9:36 p.m. Eastern Time.
All right, Yoshi, you go ahead. Let's go ahead and get your take on all of this. What are your thoughts on PTC 9? How is it evolving, and how do you think it's going to go going forward?
Well, first off, I think everyone needs to explain their credentials. So this is the second time I'm speaking, so I'm going to explain what I have. I live in the one of the areas that are actually going to get impacted, Spring Hill. So I know my way around here, and I have been watching this closely due to that. And I will say this thing has been going faster than we expected, strengthening faster than we expected. Just a couple days ago, we thought we wouldn't see the strengthening until maybe Wednesday, but no, we are 2 days ahead, and that means it'll have even more time to do its thing. So I think that it is very close to a tropical cyclone. I wouldn't be surprised if they announced that at 11. It's very borderline, though. You can make cases for either side of it being a tropical cyclone or a non-tropical cyclone yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very close if it isn't a tropical cyclone. I will say anyone in Cancun, the western parts of Cuba, and certainly along the west coast and panhandle of Florida should definitely be getting ready. And I will say, I've already said this in chat, but I'm going to say it again. If you're in Tallahassee, evacuate, please.
Let's leave that to local officials, and let's leave it to local officials to do that. Yoshi, I know I know we gotta prepare for this and everything like that, but I would leave that and defer that to local officials for the time being.
Local officials are already saying that you should definitely start preparation. Yeah. You should start preparations today, and that if you are going to evacuate, which I highly recommend, I can't legally do that, but I will highly recommend, quote, that you should evacuate if you are in the Tallahassee area up to, I'd say, 30, 40 miles out of the landfall zone.
All right.
Yeah. Supplies, especially upon the West Coast, are running out very quickly. I've heard reports yesterday that we're already seeing water gone. And today I saw a video that was like a gas station that had every pump filling with like a 5 to 10 car line in there, which I'm not too surprised. Gas, people are filling up on their gas. Water's starting to run out. So if you are going to prepare but not evacuate, prepare tomorrow as early as you can. Don't do it last minute. Don't do it early Wednesday. It's going to be too dangerous by then. We don't know what's going to happen much on Wednesday. It really depends on area, but if you're going to prepare, do it tomorrow. If you're going to evacuate, do it tomorrow. Do everything tomorrow. The effects of the storm are going to come in Tuesday night into Wednesday, depending on where you are. The more south you are, the earlier you're going to get. And for the main Tallahassee area, you're going to start seeing effects by Wednesday afternoon to Wednesday evening. So please, everyone in Florida that may get affected by this, prepare or evacuate. I highly recommend this.
All right. Thank you very much, Yoshi. First of all, Tristan, could you send a link to the radar you're sending on the on the thing
this
real
is
quick?
The Cayman's radar.
What?
This is the Cayman's Doppler radar.
All right. That's good. All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and show that for our audience right here just to give them a better view of it. I know I streamed the Discord a little bit, but I wanted to take a look at this real quickly as well. All right. Who wants to? All right. Who would like to go next?
I
Brendan,
can hop
would
in,
would you
Pat.
like to go next?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure, that's fine. So I guess I offer a little bit of a different perspective, more of the human element here. Not saying that my other speakers are not human. I don't mean that in any insult whatsoever.
How dare
you guys
you?
know I don't.
Human.
That was maybe a bad example, but my uncle had lived in Fort Lauderdale all his life. He passed away a couple years ago, but
God rest his
you
soul.
know, the Floridian, thank you. The Floridian mindset is this, and we have many of those in this chat who are from Florida. I have heard this story from him many times. Whenever we talk about Cat 1s and Cat 2s, many times Floridians don't evacuate because they can ride it out. This is a storm you cannot ride out. And Pat and I are both, well, I'll consider Pat a meteorologist at this point. He's pretty much almost done. But as a meteorologist myself, I can tell you that this is a serious situation. And I know that in this world of hype casting, which does exist, unfortunately, on this platform, this is not something we typically do. We really haven't had storms this year to truly constitute that, except for Beryl. But even that was a Cat 1. This is likely to be a major. It is not that we are predicting rapid intensification, we're expecting it. It's not a matter of, it's a possibility, it's likely going to happen. It's just a matter of when. And when that does happen, we will likely see, and again, not likely, expected, that we see a major hurricane make landfall somewhere in the Panhandle. Let's also not forget, too, that in the Panhandle of Florida, guys, we have to factor, we haven't even talked about storm surge. And I know it's very early in the conversation, but we need to really start having these conversations. Because this is an area like the Big Bend. God forbid if this hits the Big Bend head on. We're talking about some of the more severe effects of storm surge. And that also goes for places like Panama City. So this truly is not a good scenario. And, Pat, I agree with you on, we're not emergency managers. We'll leave that up to them to make the calls on when to evacuate. Here's what I will say, and not as a meteorologist, just as a human being. This time around, when your local officials tell you to evacuate and get out, get out. Because this is not a Floridian storm. You cannot be a Floridian port pirate on this one, guys. You can't stand there and watch the Cat 1 go by. This is a major. This is life-threatening. And again, I know some of us here on this channel, and for some of us in this group, they might think that this is funny because it's crazy to think, but that's the truth. A lot of Floridians don't take stuff seriously.
Yeah.
Even up to a Cat 3. But folks, this is a very serious situation. I'm not trying to cry wolf. If you are in Florida and you are in the path of this storm and the emergency managers or your local officials tell you to evacuate, I cannot stress this enough. Get out.
Daniel, you
That's
want to
all I
say
have to say.
something?
Yeah, I think, like, I've mentioned this a few times, this storm in particular, but Fancy, you will agree with me on this one, but even, like, during storms like Katrina when it was a Cat 1, 4 people died during that because people didn't take a Cat 1 seriously.
And I will agree with you, Daniel, that if you like this storm's supposed to be, look at what Debbie did. It was only a Category 1. In fact, it barely held itself together. You know what it did? It did horrible flooding. And not
Hey,
to
Yoshi, could
mention
you resend
the
that
EF3
message in the
North
chat so I
Carolina.
can pin it?
Not to
Yeah,
mention the
I told
EF3
you
in
I was
North
rewriting it.
Carolina. Not to mention the tornado risk. Of course, with this storm, the tornado risk so far out is impossible. But I'm going to say this as someone who has talked about tornadoes a lot on tropical cyclone. And I'm going to be honest. Screw the tornadoes. Screw that talk. We don't care if, and this is what I mean by I don't care. I would rather pay attention to an eye wall that might flatten a whole area of population than a small EF0 going through a tree line.
Okay. Daniel, what do you want to say?
And another thing is, the bad thing about it hitting the Panhandle is that we've had so many storms, so many strong storms for that matter in recent years, go through the panhandle and completely wreck the area that have not
Agree.
fully recovered, is that what's going to happen next when another one happens? I mean, God forbid, Michael caused some beaches to turn into islands. And that was this one is looking to be maybe not a Michael situation, but somewhere close to that.
Yeah.
Well, and here's something else I'll add to that.
Go ahead.
This is also an interesting storyline that I don't think a lot of people are talking about, that I think we also have to take into account, especially as we're talking about a potential catastrophe on our hands. A lot of the homes in Florida, ever since the Surfside apartment collapse, and really ever since really the last few years of hurricanes, I believe Ian really even jump-started this movement, did we see stricter building codes. Florida has the strictest building codes aside from Virginia, especially as it pertains to hurricane winds. A lot of the homes in Panama City and along the Big Bend and really much of coastal Florida now have fortified designations, which are meant to create resiliency against hurricane wind load. And I believe that number is up to about 130-ish miles per hour. So this is going to be put to the test. I mean, we technically had that with Ian. That was put to the test, and a lot of those fortified homes actually remain relatively intact. For those of you who don't know fortified, you can look it up, but there's more information there. But essentially what fortified does, it starts with the roof on a residential home. It actually retrofits the roof. It retrofits much of the exterior of the home in order to prevent interior damage. So one of the storylines, again, that I think that is really going to be interesting to watch is this is impacting an area with really high fortified density, homes that are retrofitted to essentially be resilient against some of these major hurricanes. But this major hurricane on our hands could actually push the threshold of that. So there's a lot to watch on this, guys, but that's one we have to think about. We'll see how much damage we truly see from this.
And another thing to add on to that, we're just talking winds. We're not talking about storm surge flooding.
Exactly. That's a great point.
The storm surge, I love this line that was on the Weather Channel during like an example of just flash flooding that they did with one of those cool 3D animation things going on behind them. But they said, water moving at 10 miles per hour is equivalent to winds at 300 miles per hour.
Good point.
Yep.
And we're probably assuming that the water from storm surge is a little faster than that, if not way faster.
Way faster. And what makes it worse is that this is not a situation where you got a decent coastline against the storm surge. The Big Bend is a funnel. It's just a funnel. You will, if you get on the wrong side of that surge, it's basically a funnel. It's like welcoming a bunch of people into your home.
All right.
No resistance.
Yeah. All right, Daniel, go ahead and finish your point.
A funnel, that's not going to help it. Also, since the coastline has been weighed down so much, I mean, they've tried to fix the beaches after storms, but you get so much lost from each storm. Also, God forbid, for the wildlife areas and all the in between that shields the coastline is kind of dispersing away and having problems like the marshland I'm talking about, and it's starting to struggle and being pushed back more and more. Again, depending where this makes landfall, will tell all if there's areas in the panhandle that have very low populations to very high populations. So we would prefer it to make a landfall in a less dense population than, let's just say, Panama City or around that area. But even if this takes a more jog to either direction, it will affect the main coast of Florida or have surge flood into Panama. So it will be... We'll have to watch it closely, and these wobbles will tell the true story. It's all gonna come down to the wobble in the end and the track trajectory.
All right. Thank you. Weather Kingdom, you haven't said anything yet. What are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts so far, I mean, I'm looking on satellite right now, and I can definitely say it is definitely on its way of strengthening. Um, Fun fact, Tampa is actually having its fifth record wettest year on record. So that was very interesting. And with this storm heading right into the Big Bend area or north of Tampa, somewhere in that line, they are having their top five most wettest years. And even recently with Debbie and some of those linger cold fronts, boundary fronts, really been producing a lot of heavy rain. And this, I do think, is a little bit underestimated with this storm. It's going to be the flooding. I get it. It's going to be a lot of wind and the storm surge. I'm very concerned because Big Bend has that huge bend, and if that storm goes right over Big Bend, all that water is going to be pulled right into it. There's a lot of where if this storm was making landfall somewhere else, it would have been different. But in this exact spot, there's so much negative anywhere, but especially in the spot where it's heading for, storm surge could be a lot worse. The flooding could be worse, and the environment conditions in the Gulf is absolutely amazing. There's low wind shear, and I don't see any big hints of any dry air issues. And I think once this is off, it's definitely going to go through rapid intensification.
Yeah. That's a huge term that's been thrown around a lot tonight by everyone.
Hey, Pat.
Yep.
Feel free to pull up my screen share. It has a better, clearer satellite loop for you.
All right.
You can just show on stream.
That's fine. I'll go ahead and show that on stream. All right. So, actually, I'll move my Oh, not this one. I'm going to move my camera over just so we can get a better view of it.
I currently have highlighted the biggest blast of convection that we're
I've noticed that
analyzing.
as well. All right. So, I will tell you this. We've been streaming this. We've been streaming all summer. We've been streaming all hurricane season. I've streamed last hurricane season. Not once have I seen all of you guys tremble and all of you guys have this heightened of amount of urgency. Not even with Beryl did I notice that from you guys. So what I will say is that we are taking this very seriously. This is a very serious situation. We have to watch this quite a lot. And Daniel is highlighting several areas of bursts of convection right here. And one thing I want to make perfectly clear tonight is we're not showing any model runs until Hurricane Reconnaissance goes into them, because we do know that Recon is going to be going in there in about a little more than 30 minutes or so. That's when they're taking off, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it's coming pretty soon.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Yeah.
Let me check Recon. Let me check Recon times.
Yeah, please check the Recon. But yeah, we're not showing the runs tonight because, number one, the system is clearly relocating its center. Number two,
It already did, I think.
I'd argue it already did. Number two, we're not even sure what this is going to get designated at 11 o'clock. This might be a tropical storm. We saw it with the reconnaissance earlier. There was gale force winds that were in there. That's what I noticed. There were gale force winds, both with flight level and SFMRs, and the blend got down to about 40 knots or so. So there was that. So I wanted to make that absolutely clear. We have 300 people in the stream right now. Absolutely incredible. We've been only streaming for about 30 minutes, and we already have 300 people in here. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps us get more people engaged with weather, and we continue to stream this tonight as this is a very big situation that continues to unfold. So let's go ahead and talk about this. All right, and Daniel's going to go ahead and show a 3D imagery zoom of this. So, Daniel, why don't you explain to the audience why we're showing this?
Well, I
Oh
mean,
yeah, guys
it
in the background, can
does.
you translate recon?
What?
Guys in the back, can you translate the recon times?
Is it in is it in VC no mic? Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
can. Yep. All right. So, yeah, it looks like interesting. Yeah, I can translate that real quickly. I'm looking at those. Yeah, everyone can see what I'm seeing. But yeah, here's what we have right here. We have several flights going into potential tropical cyclone 9. NOAA 49 is going in at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Same with NOAA 42. Flight 3 Teal 71 is going in. Is it taking off at 6:30 and going in at 12:30, I believe, or no? That's the third one. Fourth one is today is Wednesday at 7 a.m. at my time, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Flight 5 is 8 a.m. Eastern time, and Flight 6 is 5:30 a.m. and then no, that's 6:30. That's 7:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. For that, I believe. So that's what we're looking at right there. I was translating those times. I do think we are getting hurricane reconnaissance going in pretty shortly, but that's the schedule they're looking at sending recon, and we really need that. We have someone in the holding room. Okay. All right, I'll look at that a little bit later. Hey, John, could you manage the holding room so people who want to join Storms United can do that?
Oh yeah, I'll take care of it.
Yeah,
And
for
real
sure.
quick, I would like to add something to that storm surge thing that a lot of people don't talk about. Storm surge does more than flood the coastline.
Yeah.
It does two things. One, it makes flash flooding worse because here's how it works. The onshore flow prevents any rivers from flowing out.
Yep.
And this is not just in Florida. This is also in the Carolinas because if the track is right, they're also going to have onshore flow. So what that means is you're dumping all this significant rain. What are you going to do? You can't empty it out because the onshore flow of storm surge is preventing it from going out.
Mm-hmm.
How is the river going to empty itself? It has to overflow, causing river flooding.
That's
So
geography
all those
right there.
three are connected. And geography, exactly. So storm surge and heavy rainfall together, it's not a very good combo.
Definitely
now,
isn't.
luckily,
Yeah.
this storm is not going to be the slowest thing ever. That's the one benefit. And I believe it's not going to be the worst flood maker in terms of catastrophic flash flooding, or at least I hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
But when you consider the storm surge, how much rain will fall, it doesn't matter if the storm is slow or fast. That could be catastrophic flooding in a snap.
Yeah.
Water can rise very quickly. So
Yeah.
please, if you are under, please evacuate from not just the coast, but if your local officials also tell you to evacuate from a river, please do so.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You're going to want to do that. All right, so Daniel, I'm noticing 4 areas, bursts of convection so far on satellite imagery right there. What are you noticing with all this? Daniel?
Well, I'm also currently on my second screen, also looking. Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Your mic's a little bit down. Go.
Quiet.
All right, go ahead.
It's weird because my
No, you're
mixer
good.
is turned
You're
up.
good now.
Anyway, I was going to say I'm also looking on my second screen from Zoom Earth just to look at roughly where the center is. I always do this. Look at the satellite loop and find that center.
right.
Yes, the system is still. It looked like it dropped its original
It dropped its original what?
center.
Okay.
Well, like moved from its original center that we had. That wherever I think that one just got completely sheared to pieces. But where I'm seeing the current center, based off what I'm seeing in the loop,
Yeah.
would be right in there.
All right.
I have
So
a
right-
question,
yep.
real quick, Daniel. I apologize. So, are you basically saying what did it do? Did it relocate, or did it form a new center?
I think it formed a new one because compared to, hold on, I'll get back to that question. You guys continue on for a little bit. I'll get back to that in a second. I just want to review the old satellite.
But for people quickly asking about center relocation and stuff, I need to pledge this. Do not listen to models until recon.
Yep.
Because
Agree.
the situation has changed. Do not listen to the 18Z. I don't care if it looks like a diamond gleaming from a distance. Don't do it. That will get you misinformation. Wait for recon, and then we'll know what the model data was.
Yeah, we need that recon data first because that gets inputted into the model initialization.
So
go ahead, Tanya.
Center's somewhere in there. Center is actually more in here. Old center. Old center got sheared to pieces. The old center is somewhere over here.
Yeah.
So are you telling me this shifted southeast?
And it moved back.
I think so.
At the current trajectory, this thing is going to. It might shoot for Cuba. It might clip Cuba. I wouldn't say shoot through, but even if it does, that won't be enough to stop its development enough. So, based off this, just based off rotation down here, it's yes, enough. I can say that it's there.
That's what happens with the systems in the Caribbean that originate from the gyre. Sometimes some rotations are going to die out for another. Sometimes they're going to... How do I say this? They're going to get rid of one and get another one.
Yep.
Because it was originally from the gyre, and gyres are originally pretty messy.
Yeah, they definitely
I expected I did expect a relocation or a new center to form from a new area of convection.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, that looks like that new center is starting to form in that hold on. Yeah, that looks like that center is starting to burst in your area of that new area of convection that's starting to pop up on that one area. Daniel, go ahead.
So I really want to emphasize this for the whole entire stream on the screen share here in Zoom Earth.
Yep.
To go back in the past of the satellite loop. So, based off the past stuff here, you had your center was let it just load for a second so I can explain this a little better.
Sure.
You had your center right around in here.
All right.
See it spinning off in there. You track that up. That gets chucked off to the side. Then you have this weird spin that develops into this. This is your rough center, and that is either that or that, and I think it's like somewhere right in between. Somewhere right around there.
All right.
Why I say that is if you look at it a little closer, you can kind to see a low-level center spinning somewhere in there.
Keep playing that loop. That is terrifying the way it's located.
Oh.
You know why it's terrifying.
Yeah, that's not good.
Now, are they stacked? That's the biggest question. We will find out on Recon.
I'm not liking that either.
Yeah, I'm not liking that look either. That's got to be the start of something. What's up, Yoshi? What's up?
Yoshi.
Hold on. It might take
Yeah,
a
what's
second. Did you want to say something?
No, I was asking why y'all are freaking out about this.
It's just looking at it on satellite. It's concerning, to say the very least. Let me
look at the last 3 hours on the convection. This is the last 3-hour loop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, of course,
it seems to be
nothing
moving
to
a bit
freak out about.
north.
We shouldn't panic about this. We should remain calm at this point. We need more information. So,
yes,
yeah. We need more
What do you
It's
information.
guys-
definitely getting better organized.
Yeah, but folks, we have almost 400 people on the stream right now. That's unbelievable tonight. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and we will continue to keep you covered. But go ahead.
Pat, just look how far off from the track it is currently.
Oh, yeah,
it's out of the cone.
I know. I've been noticing that too. It's delayed in time.
And I think that's coming from the small upper level low to the west over the Yucatan. If you notice the trend.
Yeah.
That will mean a later landfall.
No,
by probably quite a few hours, right?
We don't know right now.
Is that John?
That's John as an eye.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's going to be making landfall. That's making landfall in the next couple of hours, in the next 2 to 3 hours.
Oh my god! So wait, Pat. You know what it looks like it's doing?
What?
Looks like it's gonna pull loop-de-loop.
Huh?
Right offshore. I wouldn't honestly be surprised.
No.
It's gonna curve. It looks like it's gonna curve the whole side. It's gonna sideswipe and then eventually probably make it.
That's gonna. Yeah.
By the way, I have to mention this is you don't see this often. Like go into Mexico this way.
Yeah.
You always see storms come into Mexico in the Atlantic, not usually in the Pacific. It's just a lot rarer.
And the worst,
you're moving that over quite a bit, Daniel.
The worst part about that system is that it's just east of what Otis did. And now it's hitting basically the same area.
Yeah, let's explain to the viewers why we're looking at John and how this is relevant to PTC 9.
So, before we get related to PTC 9, I just want to say that this is already a life-threatening situation in Mexico. We are hurricane warnings in effect. I bet there's mudslides and flash flooding about to occur. I hope the reports from Mexico are not grim, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I understand that.
First of all, this is already a dangerous situation. The thing about John is that the flow on its northern side is pushing the dry air away from PTC 9. So the area that used to be the gyre that has high moisture, dry air is not really going to be entrained in it right now. John is doing a great job at not only having a beautiful structure and being an amazing sudden RI intensification, but also because it's pushing a lot of that dry air away. So I know people were concerned about, will the outflow from John ruin PTC 9's chances? In my opinion, it's boosting them.
How so?
You guys, we have breaking news.
All right, what's the news?
Mission 2 is officially on its way.
That's okay. That's
beautiful.
That's really good news. Let me take a look at that.
It's coming from Louisiana, though.
What?
It's going to take quite a while. Coming from Louisiana.
Regardless, though, that's still really good news. That's still really good news.
It is.
It just took off. It's probably going to take a couple of hours to get there.
Curious, if you go back on that satellite, it has such a good. It's really developing that good structure.
Yeah.
I'm noticing.
Yeah. For also, just wanted to butt in real quickly. For those of you wondering why we're talking about Hurricane John, even though it's in the Eastern Pacific, two big reasons. Number one, I'm showing the satellite on my side right here. Hurricane John, obviously, the obvious reason is that it's a big threat to land, and we obviously need to pay attention to that as well as we continue to cover these things. But also, number two, and this is the more subtle reason, I'm watching the evolution of John to see how this is going to affect potential tropical cyclone, soon to be tropical storm Helene over here. And the reason I say that is because Tristan was just mentioning this. Okay, is the outflow going to cause more shear and maybe hinder it a little bit more? But you were saying that, Tristan, that it was boosting it. Why do you say that?
Because it's PTC9 is not fighting with dry air. The flow from the northern side of John is pushing that dry air out.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. There's a bunch of dry air. That upper level low with the rotation it's doing would have actually pushed dry air into that region.
It would
But
have.
now that John has put more moisture into it, it can't.
Yep.
Also, another thing
Sure.
is that in this case, the shear is not going against the storm. It's feeding
into
around the storm. So it's gonna help. And actually, if you look on satellite, they're technically already connected.
Yeah, they are with that bursting connection over Nicaragua. I'm noticing that.
I actually got a website from a Mexican website about John and stuff. That's interesting. I'm gonna see.
Yeah. That's interesting right there. So, yeah, that's why we're covering John. What's up?
They actually have rainfall forecasts and stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
I will send the website.
Wow, the eye, damn.
Yeah, that eye is beautiful. But I will tell you this, and I was talking to David about it this morning. He was saying, the outflow is going to impact the system. It's going to shear it, and it's not going to have much of a chance. The first thing I told him was, David, this is too mesoscale for that to happen. The outflow's not even going outside of Mexico. This was this morning. It's now going into Guatemala, so I'm a little inaccurate looking back at it, but I told him this outflow is not even going past Mexico, let alone the Bay of Campeche. How is it going to get in there? And also, I will tell you this right now: Hurricane John is a very tiny system. The reason I say mesoscale is because it's tiny. Tropical storm force winds only extend outward 45 miles from the center. That's pretty much pretty much a drive from Chicago to my university.
I mean, the main core of the storm here is, 225 miles across.
Yeah.
That's relatively small compared to what, this Caribbean storm is probably going to get. So, this is a little baby major, but still a very powerful one.
Can I say something after you're done?
Sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah. And the big problem with the small nature of this is it rapidly intensified, and it's just going to cause more damage for these local areas. And current forecast is 120 miles per hour?
Yes.
For this. I wouldn't be surprised if it peaks 130, but at the current rate, yes, it might briefly as it make landfall, but all that data will probably come out after landfall, whatever the official winds are.
Go ahead, Tristan.
I would like to show the viewers something very interesting. After who wanted to talk next before me?
I wanted to.
Me.
Weather Kingdom.
Go ahead. You can go ahead.
Well, yeah. Go ahead, Weather Kingdom.
I was gonna say it's a perfect example of when we do talk about a smaller system with a tight core. That's a perfect example with John here. It's a very impact tight core, and clearly it took its environment in and strengthened very rapidly. But if it was a bigger, broader system, yes, this would be a whole nother ball game. Maybe there will be some shear on PTC9, and maybe it wouldn't have gotten as strong because it's not as tight of a core. So
Yeah.
my main thing there is a smaller system easily can rapidly intensify and catch you off guard with smaller systems.
Yeah,
It's a perfect example.
small systems like John are very high risk, high reward, it seems, because
Yes.
it has an equal chance of getting completely torn to shreds as well. So
Correct. Yep.
that's
All right,
something.
can I share my screen? I
Go,
want to show
yeah,
the
go
viewers.
ahead, Tristan.
So-
Yoshi, you want to go ahead and talk first? So
Yeah, I think my thing's kind of important since we're talking about specific sandbag locations. I want to do this while we have 420 people on. If there's
Sure.
more, I'm gonna do it
yeah,
intermittently.
go ahead.
But everyone see the pinned comment. I'm gonna explain more on that. Across Tampa Bay, at least, I'm gonna share the sandbag locations for every county I am getting this info from. First off, Pinellas County in St. Petersburg. Here's the sandbag locations. For full service locations, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Stormwater Pavement and Traffic Operations Building, 1744 on 9th Avenue. Lake Maguire Park Shelter Area, 3601 Dr. Martin Luther King Street. Northeast Park East Baseball Field Parking Lot, 955 62nd Avenue. Northwest Swimming Pool Parking Lot Park, 2331 60th Street North. If you are in St. Petersburg and you need a sandbag, go to one of those places, along with Dell Holmes Park, Fossil Park, and Walter Fuller Soccer Field, if I pronounce that right.
All right.
Citrus County, Homosassa Recreation Park, Bicentennial Park, Floral Park, Old Hernando Elementary School. If you're in Citrus County and you need sandbags, and some of these places that offer sandbags, since especially elementary and middle schools, may also be providing shelter if you need it. If you need shelter, go to one of those places. And for Tuesday, it'll be from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. And if weather permitting, on Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. once again. If you're in Hernando County, go to Linda Person Park in Spring Hill. On Tuesday, it'll be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. weather permitting, and on Wednesday, it'll be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. again, weather permitting. Anderson Snow Park too. Bridge Manor Community Center. Spring Lake Methodist Church. A lot of churches, I'm going to tell you right now, if you have a local church too, check if they're going to bring out sandbags, canned food, anything. Food pantries have a lot of those, especially if there's a lot of people that need it.
Yep.
Always, if you have a local church that has a food pantry, check with them too.
Yes.
All right? Hillsborough County. In Temple Terrace, the city will be opening a sandbag location for residents from noon to 7 p.m. on September 25th, Tuesday, and from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Wednesday. For Pasco County, sandbags can be picked up at the Pasco County Public Works, Magnolia Valley Golf Course, Veterans Memorial Park, and Pasco Fire Rescue. Quite sadly, in Polk County, there are no active sandbag locations at this time. However, if you're in Polk County, check tomorrow in case something decides to change. Manatee County has already had some rain, and staff has completed maintenance work on the Lake Manatee Dam, luckily, but I'm not seeing anything on actual sandbags. Same for Sarasota. If you're in Polk, Manatee, or Sarasota, check up on sandbag locations for tomorrow, as this could very well change, especially as the forecast changed. And once again, if you're near a local church, food pantry, nonprofit center, such as such as a thrift store, fire rescue / station. Go check all of those places out to see if they're handing out things like free canned food, free water, free sandbags. Because most of the time, at least one of the places you'll check out has that.
All right. Thank you very much, Yoshi. I'm sure a lot of people who live in the Tampa Bay area appreciate that right there. It's important we get that information out as well. All right, we have
That's
Savvy.
satellite.
We have Savvy in here. Savvy, what's going on, and what are your thoughts on this system?
I can't talk too much right now.
That's fine. That's fine. But anyway, all right. So who wants to go next? Weather King.
I would like to share my screen to show the viewers something very interesting.
Is this the moisture right here, or
this is the water vapor imagery? I'm going to explain why John is actually helping PTC 9. So let's pause the loop real quick.
All
so if John wasn't here, and you see all this dry air right here, and I want everyone to pay attention, what would be right here if John wasn't right here? Look at all this dry air.
Yep.
And if this system, we're going to play it to give you a better look at its rotation. It's going this way. So if John wasn't here, what do you think would happen to the gyre region? It would get brutalized by dry air. But because John is here, bringing more moisture, this is actually look at this region. It's transporting moisture to PTC9. It's aiding at its development. And not all shear is bad. You can have low amounts of shear that help thunderstorms blossom. You can have. And here's another example of that. Let's look at the imagery. So here's the upper level. You don't see much, right? Let's go to mid. And look at the difference. Normally there will be a bunch of dry air there. Give it a second to load. It's sad. Look at the difference.
Yeah.
And you want to see something spectacular? Go to the lower. Give it a sec. You're going to be surprised of how moisturized the lower levels are. Look at that.
Okay.
Look. So yes, this is a rare situation where John is helping develop.
And it's so mesoscale and so small that it's not going to hurt it either way. This is literally the perfect balancing act.
Yes. It's small and mesoscale in terms of its wind field where the outflow won't affect it. But it's big enough in moisture for the mesoscale to help it. This is an amazing example of small little key players can intertwine together and make a system. It's really cool. So that's why John is helping.
What was the phrase you told me about the gyre system earlier, Tristan?
It is a very tough. It's basically. I'm going to give a good example. It's basically trying to play checkers blind.
All right.
You are not. If you are blind, how are you going to know your next move or what move you did? That's what the models do with gyre systems. It is like playing checkers blind.
Yep.
But the moment you get that low pressure that you're able to communicate with the models with, all of a sudden your eyes are open. You know what might happen.
Yep.
That is the gyre in a nutshell.
For sure.
Checkers blind.
Yeah. What's the phrase you said about two systems with the gyre from the gyre though that you told me earlier?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Actually.
All right. Okay. Anyway, but yeah. Weather Kingdom. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts, I mean, I think he is completely correct on that. If John wasn't there, I think this would be, we'll be talking about a much weaker system and more dry air being in it. I think John, the way he explained it, the way you see it is, John actually is helping this storm out a lot better. Right. And I think maybe that's why the trends over the last 3 days really been hyping this one up, because it started showing that system out in the East Pacific. So that's kind of interesting. That's why I think the trend really went hyper mode in the last few days, is because of John.
What has Pat taught us? The smallest things can equal big equations.
Yep.
Yep.
Once the small things, when things may start small, but when they add up, they turn into this.
Yep, exactly. And I am always knowing that.
So the beauty of
Same.
weather. In this case, this is not beautiful. This is a problem.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
normally it's beauty.
Okay.
Eye of the beholder.
Yeah. Okay. This is a call to everyone in the live stream. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps us get more people engaged with weather. I am getting some questions though about why the models have downtrended quite a bit from the 12Z to the 18Z. I'm not showing you guys that because the models number one are a bit wonky right now. The 18Z, they did not take into account that the system relocated its center, and it's also trying to input Hurricane Hunter data into it as well. So give it some time, and they'll start to correct themselves in the next couple of runs. So that's why we've seen a massive dip. And Tristan, if you want to expand on that, go ahead.
So basically what happens is the models were trying to do the old low-level center. Remember, like I said, once you get a low-level center, your eyes are open. But then suddenly, let's say that you're playing checkers with one eye. Now you have to go through multiple things and you might miss something. In this case, the old low-level center died. It got sheared apart, but there was already a beautiful area of thunderstorm convection that helped another low-level center form. Are they perfectly stacked? We will find out when Recon goes in. But I will say that this helps and hinders the storm. The reason why I say hinder a little bit, this is the only situation that would hinder it. We don't know if it might go a little bit more north to Cuba. We don't know. Because we haven't completely located the center. We need to find out by recon data. If it still goes on the track that the NHC has been saying, though, this is a absolute benefit to the storm. The warmest waters are right there where you're looking at. This is a huge benefit to the storm.
Oh yeah,
now,
for sure.
luckily, it is getting a little bit sheared, but you notice something also, Pat?
Yep.
That Atlantic low that was shearing it before, it's like it's allowing it to breathe again.
It got far enough away from it.
And now it's doing a lot of outflow to the east. The low to the west is kind of blocking a little bit of the western outflow. Also, real quick, it is also under a ULAC, which is a upper level, call it a upper level high pressure. I might be wrong about it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
All right.
But it's basically a thing under the low pressure where it allows outflow to expand. It basically allows, it's like, how do I explain? It's like a person with an asthma attack. This storm is not having an asthma attack. It's allowed to breathe. The lungs are functioning properly. But the moment some dry air gets in there, the shear cuts it off, or something blocks its inflow, it struggles to breathe. It's like you have mucus in your lungs, right? So it prevents it from breathing.
Yeah. For sure.
So that's how that would work.
Yeah. I want to address your point about... you go ahead, Daniel, and then I'm going to address something Tristan brought up.
Yeah, I want to jump in. I've been just stalking the water vapor for the last little bit. The convection bursts on the lower half, around roughly where the center I predict is starting to kind of scare me.
Oh yeah, it's definitely starting to overtake a lot of the other areas.
Same, it's scaring me.
I'm worried, but
yeah,
what's on your stream, Pat, right now? I'm not liking that look. That is looking like that structure is looking like the precursor of a major hurricane right there.
Yeah, it doesn't have that. It doesn't have that
convection though.
It doesn't have that classic shrimp shape just yet, but it's starting to deform that though.
Yes.
And that me looking at it twice, I'm laughing at it.
What?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh no.
Also, we got another player coming up soon. Player.
What's that?
The Ridge. It's coming in from Washington State.
Oh no. Yeah.
Here we go. The setup is starting to happen. You're beginning stages.
Yeah. All right.
Let's see if the storm can do what.
Hey, Pat.
Yeah.
If you want to know why I'm laughing,
I know
just look
why
at
you're
my mic.
laughing, Daniel.
Yeah.
I know why you're laughing. I'm not showing that on stream.
Hey guys, we
yeah,
should
good
get
idea.
Helene soon.
Anyway, Savi, you're here.
Yeah, we should get Helene soon, in my opinion.
Yeah. Would you like
I
to
honestly
add
think
some
it-
stuff to
I
the
think it should be-
conversation, or are you still in the middle of stuff?
Daniel, show me
Oh,
what you're laughing at.
I'm like 80% in there.
All right. But in the meantime, though, yeah, I'm noticing that burst of convection. That's definitely starting to overtake a lot of the areas, except for maybe this northern convection, which long term, I think those two could merge, and that's when things could go haywire, potentially.
Ooh, a new burst of convection. Southwestern side.
Yep, we're seeing
Yeah,
several
by the
bursts
way-
of convection over
by the-
there, actually.
By the way, I'm just waiting for these two to connect down here.
Oh my goodness. I cannot imagine that.
Oh.
Wait, what happened?
Oh, those two areas to
I'm
connect down over here.
Down over here, this gap. I feel like the second that connects correctly.
We're in
and
trouble.
This back and this back area fully develops. You have a pretty good structure.
Yep.
I will say something here. For viewers
Uh-huh.
here, there is one concern I have. There is one. It reminds me, I
Don't
don't
say it.
know. The size is not really huge right
What does it
now.
remind
I am
you
very
of?
concerned that it will do a delta where the thunderstorms will do too much.
What?
No.
And then suddenly some wind shear or dry air will come in. That is one of my concerns. It is unlikely.
This
But
is
you do
this is
have
a
to
much
keep that
broader
in
system than Delta was.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But you never know, right?
I mean, Delta was the
I don't
size of
think it would
John,
be.
to be honest. Or was it smaller?
Delta was
In
when
the
it was
Caribbean.
trying to reach it when it was in the Caribbean. It was pretty small.
Yeah.
But that is one of my concerns, that sudden dry air and wind shear may happen as the thunderstorms are trying to really boost, because you never know what weather can do.
Yeah.
And it might cause a delta situation. It's unlikely, but it's always that small chance. So keep
Sure.
an eye on that, because sometimes Caribbean storms like to get too far.
Yeah, definitely. What I will tell you is that there's not just one burst of convection, and this goes to Daniel, in
There's
that one area we're
multiple.
talking about. There's several areas, actually. There's one area that's embedded into it. There's one area to the southwest, one area to the northwest, actually. It's several areas that's merging into one gigantic area. That's what I'm noticing. But
I agree. I think
yeah.
I have a bad feeling. I have that sickening feeling on that.
Yeah.
It's closing off on the southern end.
Let me take
Yeah.
a look.
I think if that it closes off, we
Oh,
can get
yeah, it's
Helene
closing
by
off fast.
JN.
It is. It's barely even holding. It's holding itself. Barely even. It's starting to reattach. Honestly, if you think about it. Let me show everybody what we're looking at. Yeah. Go ahead and draw your. Draw your drawing tool, Daniel, on whatever we're looking at.
Oh no.
What? What's up?
No, I thought we were gonna talk about the penis burst.
Oh, bro, we're on stream. Bro,
Yeah.
You did not.
You
just
did
say
not.
That out loud.
I'm gonna have to.
What happened? I just got back.
Okay.
Good.
That
Good,
aside,
Charlie. You didn't hear that.
Real quick, by the way, just in case not any of our people can look at the chat right now, I am looking at the chat on my phone. I am watching the whole chat on YouTube. So if you have any questions,
yeah, go
I'll
ahead and
take note
ask
of that.
them. Go ahead
Most
and ask
important
them.
one.
But anyway,
And
Yeah,
do
I'm
not
watching with Pat, too.
and do not question what he just said.
yeah. Do not
I think
question what he
everyone
just
is
said.
doing that
Don't listen
already.
to me, guys. Don't listen to me.
Yeah. But anyway,
Tree
that's the
asks,
area we're
is this
highlighting
storm
right there.
Is this storm coming to Louisiana? No, because of the trough. It can't do that. The
David
trough
said,
and the
where
rapid
is this kind of...
intensification combo.
What?
Someone said, what about the Alabama coast? It all depends on what the Newfoundland high does right near landfall. I will say eastern parts of Alabama and southeastern Alabama are under a slight to moderate risk of flooding. So please stay tuned to your National Weather Service for more latest information. If the center relocated, where did it go? It did not relocate. The old low-level center got diffed by shear and died, and now we got a new one.
It got
Is this
KO'd
before-
more
Hey,
combat.
hold on. Is John about
wait.
to make landfall? I'm looking on satellite right now. It looks like John is about to make landfall.
It's
I'm
skidding the
about to
whole
make
coast, by the
landfall,
way.
folks.
What?
I'm
It's
about to make
kinda-
landfall, folks.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah, John's about to make landfall.
Our head admin.
Yep. Our head admin.
So it's
Okay, all right, Tristan, go ahead and keep answering questions while I look at this.
time for me to
Looks
boot
like
up
this
flight
thing is
sim.
almost completely stacked.
You noticing that, Savi?
Yes. It looks
I'm
like
booting on
if
flight
you can
sim.
get one more burst of convection, one or two more bursts of convection, this thing could be stacked.
Easily. Oh, dang, this is quite the show we're getting.
Someone
I'm not
asked
liking that.
Oh, by the way, for people that are asking locations, do not ask locations yet, as the storm is still in development stage. We need, and I hate to say this, if you are anywhere in Florida, you should be getting ready for this. Anywhere. And
I would
say
rule out
including
Miami and
because there
Broward
is-
counties, but
No, Miami's going to get a flood watch from it.
okay.
Training. Yeah, so even Miami.
All right.
It could range anywhere depending on the location. If you are anywhere in Florida, you should be ready for this.
Sure.
Depending on if you get flooding, the main impact, it just depends on where you are. Also, someone asked, is Pensacola fine? If you were in Pensacola, Florida, because of the timing of the Newfoundland high to the east, you could get some effect. So I would pay attention to your National Weather Service. But in terms of landfall, for now, and this is for now, no. So far, no. All right, let's see. Any questions? We're not going to give you an accurate location thing because the storm is in development stage. So do keep in mind that we could say something tonight and then tomorrow it might change. So just know that. Please know that before you ask, because I'm telling you right now, we don't want to lie to you. We want to give you the latest information. So please know it might change.
Yeah.
Actually, I have to head out for tonight.
That's fine, Daniel.
Okay.
So, yeah, and for your sake, by the way, Pat, you already know what's happening tomorrow for me, for other people in here. Wish me luck for tomorrow. I'm going in for surgery. So nothing bad. Just gynecomastia removal. That is just breast tissue removal.
Yep.
So long recovery ahead. I will probably be on in the next.
Okay, they updated at they
commission for
put out
the
the
next few
11
days.
p.m.
Already?
advisory. They put it out.
That was too early.
Yeah, they're holding it
One
PTC
past
9.
35, boys.
Yep, they're pushing it at 1,002. What's their latest?
They've been having it's the same.
But let's see why.
Okay, they got rid of the major hurricane inland, though. That's inland. Okay, that's interesting.
Why would they listen to them? Oh, no.
My guess is they removed it because the 110 was inland, and yeah, let me look at the discussion very quickly.
I would actually like to read it.
Yeah.
I am very curious on why they would take that away.
Yeah.
I have a gut. You know what could happen? They're gonna make an emergency update once aircraft gets in. Maybe that's why they're making an early update,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna
I
have an
think-
emergency update.
Okay, do we have a status update on mission on mission 2, because it's apparently
I
not,
do not.
Yeah, because it's not leaving apparently on this. If someone could check
Sometimes
what?
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they won't show you the progress until it gets closer for how far out.
That's
It is.
fair.
I'm very curious on
Sometimes
their
they do
thoughts,
that.
'cause satellite imagery.
They better have that
indicates
damn
that-
aircraft.
Satellite
Sorry.
imagery indicates that there is little change to organization of the system as earlier today. What?
Really?
I'm
What?
sorry. Most of the deep convection is over the eastern part of the broad circulation. Animation of probe visible ghost imagery and radar observations from Grand Cayman Weather Service suggests that the disturbance still does not have a well-defined center of circulation. The system is kept as a potential tropical cyclone for the time being, held at 30 knots, which is in agreement with DORAC. An Air Force reconnaissance aircraft is scheduled to investigate the area in a few hours to provide better description of the system's structure, along with an updated intensity estimate. I believe this is just because
Yeah.
they're going off more broader view.
Yeah, my guess is they're
that's
waiting
fine.
for reconnaissance.
Yes.
Yeah.
The initial motion estimate is rather uncertain at 330 divided by 5 knots during the next day or so. The disturbance is expected to turn northwestward along the southern and southwestern side of a mid-level high-pressure area. Then, the high is expected to shift eastward while a mid-level trough drops to the central United States. While the evolution of the steering pattern should cause the system to accelerate northward to northeastward over the eastern Gulf of Mexico and towards the northeastern Gulf through Thursday. There is good agreement in the track guidance. And the official forecast is close to the corrected dynamical consistent. They listen to the models without doing a center relocation. That's why.
Well, I'm
You
sorry.
Wait,
don't
what?
do that. I'm sorry. Yeah. They're professionals. My word doesn't matter. What? An upper level low is located over the northeastern Yucatan Peninsula. Has been imparting some southwesterly vertical wind
I'm
Thank
here.
you.
shear. I don't see it.
Yep, we can hear you.
I haven't seen that. That's from my eyes. This is probably to cause a temporary disruption in development. Dynamic guidance shows this low weakening with time, resulting in a reduction of shear in the environment that is otherwise very conducive for intensification. The system is projected to move over warm waters of very high ocean heat content, which would lead to considerable strengthening during the forecast period. The official intensity forecast is similar to the previous one that lies between the dynamic model guidance and the diurnal model prediction. It should be noted that the 72-hour forecast allows for a little weakening after moving inland. So the cyclone is still expected to be a major hurricane strength at landfall.
All right.
That's an in-between. You predicted that.
Yep,
Pat.
I was going
It
to
should
say.
be noted that the cyclone is expected to grow in size while it traverses the Gulf. Storm surge, wind, and rainfall will extend well away from the center, particularly east of the system. In addition, the fast-forward speed while it crosses the coast will likely result in farther inland penetration of strong winds over parts of the southeastern United States after landfall. So that's interesting.
All right, so
Let's look
We
at the
got
new
some-
warnings.
we got some new watches, and a new order. So the first thing I do want to talk about is everyone hearing me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I was worried that my internet went out for a second. So, anyone in Taylor County, especially on the coast, you guys have a mandatory evacuation. It is highly recommended, if you're in Taylor County, that you listen to this mandatory evacuation. They don't do this often, but mandatory evacuation. So that's not good. I'm trying to find the other thing. The new watches.
Hold up.
the
While
new
you're looking
watches-
at that, I'm seeing where the NHC is putting the center and where we're looking at it at satellite estimates at the and we're in relation to
There
satellite.
we go. Okay, I found it.
Okay, there's the cone.
I found it. A storm surge watch has been issued along the southwest coast of Florida from Bonita Beach to
Okay.
Flamingo. A tropical storm watch has been issued on the southwest coast of Florida from Bonita Beach southward to Flamingo. if you're on any, if you have a storm surge watch, make a plan to go more inland. Either do that, or
All right.
if you have to, evacuate.
Okay, Yoshi, while you were talking, I was looking at the NHC. The NHC is actually not that far off in terms of locating the center. It's a
Still.
little off. It is, at least in terms of where we're looking at that burst of convection. But it's not as bad as I think a lot of people think it is. It's still, they're having the center a little bit to the west of that burst of convection. It's not that far off. So that's interesting to take a look at and interesting to note for everybody.
I just don't think it's a problem.
Anyway, we have a new member. McKenna Koning has become a member of the channel. She is a weather enthusiast. Words. I know it's very original. I understand that, but thank you very much for the support. I will not let you down. I hope you have a wonderful night. Oh, all right. Jonathan Waldrop is now a member, weather enthusiast. Thank you very much, Jonathan. I will not let you down either. Like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps us get more people engaged with weather. And with that being said,
real quick, we also got some news that we were all expecting. John has officially become a major hurricane at 120 miles an hour. The pressure is 959 millibars, moving north at 8 miles an hour.
Yep.
It's expected to make landfall very soon. Also, I want to comment on this advisory. Why did they use the 18Z when they had no recon?
I was gonna say, wait for the 0Z at the very least.
Or wait for.
They are professionals, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. They also have runs we don't.
Yeah,
I think they just rushed it.
No.
All right, so guys, Icon's going out, and before I actually tell y'all what it's planning to do, I'm gonna get the initialization. I'm gonna show it to you and let y'all see how good it is. Since I think it's pretty reasonable initialization, in my honest opinion. It's gonna be in VC Nomic once I find it. There we go.
All
okay.
Right.
There we go.
Is this the 0Z?
Yeah, 0Z icon. It's the initialization. It's gonna... Okay, there we go. Now it's popped up.
Okay. All right. How much has rendered?
Last time I checked, 18 hours. Probably more 24 now.
Okay. All right.
One more day I need to communicate to the viewers here.
Sure.
It's actually more dangerous now. Even if the system is struggling a little bit right now, we got a problem. The track is right on the Big Bend where the surge funnel.
And it's also further east towards Tampa Bay.
And not only that, but they said the storm is going to be larger. So we have a problem.
Yeah.
So even if this is only a Category 2, this might do a ton of damage.
Oh, yeah.
I have a gut feeling Recon's going to go in. And remember, if you look at the earlier Recon, I know it was way back, but this storm actually already had a little bit of a vortice / close center. I know that complete dissipate and stuff, but I mean, I honestly think if that to me, this looks like a 45-mile-an-hour tropical storm or more.
I know Recon saw those winds earlier. Okay, this is interesting. All right. In the meantime, though, we got another member tonight. Gort Vader is now a weather enthusiast. That's unbelievable. We got 3 new members tonight. That's incredible. Thank you very much for the support, guys. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let's get more people engaged with weather. So, yeah. Oh wow, we just got a $10 donation from McKenna Koning.
Thank you.
Yep, keep up the awesome work. Thank you for sharing
much.
such valuable information with so many people and dedicating so much time to this. Thank you for number one for the donation, but also thank you for tuning in and joining us tonight, because it's people like you and people like the 400 plus that are in tonight that really get people engaged with weather, and it really encourages us to do this. So thank you very much.
I see what
pretty
they
bad
mean by the
news.
shit.
The icon is trying to trend stronger with it again.
Okay.
It went down from 1,000 to 999, and let me see what this is. It's got a larger tropical storm area on its on hour 24.
That's interesting.
And remember, if you guys look at the initialization, it's pretty all right. It's pretty solid. Nothing's screwing it over here. So I'm gonna trust this.
Okay.
I will say I do agree on them doing larger in size because it is still broad and stuff. But I'm very curious on if it's actually broad to the point where it's not a TS. I do see where the shear is coming in on the western side due to that low, but that low is also transporting moisture, so it's doing a balancing effect, and that's interesting.
That's about to connect.
It is.
Whoa! $20 donation by Austin Simpson. Love y'all. Keep it up. Thank you very much tonight. That is incredible. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow.
But I'm gonna say this for everybody. Even if this comes in as a large Category 2 weakening, still take it seriously. You want to run from the water, hide from the water. If you are in the Big Bend of Florida, I recommend, even if this is a Cat 1, remember, it might rapidly intensify first and then weaken due to the trough position of wind shear. So you might still have a huge surge. So please be very careful about this storm.
Another $20 donation, by the way. Sorry to cut you off, Tristan. Really appreciate this from Peter Moss. Really appreciate you guys. Just like you guys have been watching this for over a week so far, and my sibling been calling me the family weatherman. Thank you very much for the stream. For the donation. That is absolutely incredible. You guys have been killing it tonight with the support. We really appreciate that. Sorry, Tristan. Please continue.
I'm going to say this respectfully. Your siblings calling in a family weatherman. I'm very happy that your siblings look at you like a example, a good example. That's a very good thing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Yoshi. I saw your thing with the icon. Right here, 997 millibars as it's approaching the Yucatan Strait. I actually think that's reasonable. What compared to the 12Z? What was the compared to the 12Z? What was it? I'm just out of curiosity.
12Z. Look, you can look at it. Actually, I posted the old versus the new one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, this is the 18Z, and then okay, it's definitely a little bit stronger, and this is set for okay, all right, hour 42.
While you're looking at that, for the viewers, I just want to say this.
Yeah, it's a little stronger.
We are wrong. We are fine with being wrong, but we just want to help you prepare and protect yourself.
Oh wow!
We
got a $50 donation.
Whoa!
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, we got from Tom Brumley, a $50 donation, unbelievable. Also a $5 donation from Jonathan Walden. Thank you for what you guys do. We have another member, Andrea, another weather enthusiast member. Unbelievable tonight. Thank you so much. That's crazy.
Thanks,
wow.
But anyway, I want to communicate this to the viewers.
Go ahead.
Because I want, Pat, we're going to be honest with you. We don't 100% know what this system is. We don't know because the smallest things can make a big change, right?
Yep.
We are just here to give you the information that professionals do. Even if we disagree, we understand that we're not the best. They're the experts, and whatever happens tonight might change tomorrow. That's the thing
Yep.
about weather. So I just want y'all to understand that what we're talking about tonight might be different tomorrow. Might change another day. Might change another day. But our goal here is to protect you how much you can, and give the information that you.
Yep.
And speaking of that, we've had some questions about information. By the way, thank you for the $19 donation. All that.
Oh, another $20 donation. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Real quick, I want to see the
You go ahead
question
and finish
on my
your point.
phone.
Then I'm going to answer this question I'm going to answer this real
Yes.
quickly.
So, but for people here, we're not saying we're the best ever. We have the best technology. Oh, look at this. It's going to become a Cat 5 200. No, we're not like that.
We're not Reed
We're
Timmer
just trying to
or
save
Tyler
lives,
Owens.
protect property, and do what we need to do to make sure that you do not lose your life or get injured during the storm. That is our goal.
Yeah, for sure. All right. We got another $20 donation by McKenna. Let's go, weather enthusiasts.
Thank
We
you.
love you, Pat. That's unbelievable. All right. As for ATLF girl who with the 1999, do you get your forecast from Tropical Tidbits? Dr. Levi Cowan is amazing. Said he would. We'd get Cat 5 Michael, and he's right. So many other forecasters right on. So many other forecasters. We survived Michael in Panama City. We are 72 hours out. Yes, we do use Tropical Tidbits. We absolutely
just don't use
do.
Tropical Tidbits.
Yes, we use Tropical Tidbits. We love Levi Cowan. He's absolutely incredible. Shout out to him if he somehow comes across the stream.
But not just that. We try to use everything.
Atlanta, Florida.
There's some things that
Thank you.
Pat may not. There's some things that Pat may not use. Like, for example, I use the Ocean Prediction Center and compare it to models and everything. I compare every little detail to see what's going on. I use links that people wouldn't use. How many of you actually have used the Ocean Prediction Center to look at the whole synopsis scale? Very few, most likely, unless I'm wrong.
Sure.
Correct. But we try to get the latest information, even if we try to get the micro.
Hey, do you have a new update on the icon, by the way?
Real quick, I want to see.
All right, let
the
Tristan
questions
finish,
that
and then we'll
people
get to that.
I do want to see the questions that people have. I'm scrolling right now.
Sure. Yeah.
Could Tallahassee start seeing warnings of watches starting tomorrow? I did both there. Yes, you could in theory. You'll likely be under either a tropical storm or hurricane watch, depending on the track tomorrow. Let's see here. Any other questions?
Okay, we're getting that burst of convection continuing to organize out here in the out here near the apparent center right there. It's definitely starting to take shape, and it's definitely starting to blow up and expand. So we'll have to watch it.
Let's see. The naval model not working. The tick east at 11 o'clock. Yes. Rapid is an understatement. Well, we need to look at the evolution of the storm during the next 12 to 24 hours before we can think it will actually happen. It's just a wait and see, right?
Yep.
It's patient. Got time. Not as much time as we would love to, but time. Any other questions?
Yeah, do we have any more questions in the chat? We'd be happy to answer them. In the meantime, though, in the meantime, though, Weather Kingdom, what's up? And then we'll turn to Yoshi.
I was going to ask if we have an update on the icon model.
Yoshi.
Yeah, we do. We're getting our first hurricane frame.
All right.
The only difference is that it's a millibar stronger.
Okay. The question, someone asked, can we get hurricane warning to Tallahassee? It all depends on the evolution.
Yep.
If I were to look at the track versus Google Map, is the H right on top of Tallahassee, or am I crazy? Google Maps time. We need. Actually, you know what? I got a better website for that. I got a better one for that. I'm going to see if it loads. It has loaded. Let's zoom in. Right.
All right. What? Okay, you're taking a look at that. All right. Let's see.
I just have to make sure that it loads.
All right. Okay.
I don't want to waste anybody's time. It's not loading. That's
All right, let's go ahead and answer some questions. Any chance Pensacola could get it? Potentially. It's potential you guys could get the Outer Bands. We just got a $10 donation by Linda Phillips. Thank you for the donation. We really appreciate that. It's been an unbelievable night with all the super chats that have been flooding in. Thank you so much for that. Okay. What happened to the 3D thing? That was Daniel, and he had to go for the night. Yeah. Okay. Where's the front located, and how fast is it? Tristan, do we have Tristan? What fronts have you been looking at with the Ocean Prediction Center in those areas?
the main areas I've been looking at is the Newfoundland high coming off and splitting apart to another brief high. And then I've been looking at the trough, which on the Ocean Prediction Center, which I think would be at 72 to 92 hours. I can put it up right now on my screen. Here it is. So here it is. This is just the estimated strength of the system, by the way. But here is the trough. Here's a high right here that is going on near Washington State. That's like east. There's your trough doing the angle. There's like a frontal zone here. I wonder if that is going to stay. And then if we look at, you see the Newfoundland high starting to stretch down, right? Let's look at 96. And then suddenly we get this high that does a brief outflow help before moving it onshore.
All right.
So that is what we were paying attention to. By the way, again, like we always said, this could change tomorrow. This could look different. So don't take that completely with heart. But that is what we have right now.
Yeah, and we're also watching another front that's going to be coming in a few days into the Gulf of Mexico that could interact with the system and push this further to the east. So there's.
Oh, by the way, I apologize. My phone glitched for a second, so I didn't load the chat.
All right.
Why did the intensity forecast go under a major hurricane? It did not. They did say that it will likely still be a major hurricane. In fact, we did read this. They said
it's between time periods.
It's between time periods. It should be noted that the 72-hour forecast allows for a little weakening after moving inland. So the cyclone is still expected to be a major hurricane strength at landfall. It just doesn't show that because it's in between time periods right now.
Sure.
And there is a little bit of unknowns from the recent data. So they're going to get some new information from Recon. Those are the two reasons why. But they did say a major hurricane of 115 to 120. If they're saying it would be lower.
I have some bad news here.
What's the bit news?
If you look at the 66 hour on Icon, first off, it's jumped down from 969 down to 972 down to 969, first of all.
Okay.
And second, the old run, for reference, had about 50 to 55 knots to its east side, going towards Tampa Bay. Our new run has 60 to 65 knots towards Tampa Bay.
Ooh.
It has an extra 10 knots on it versus last run.
That's interesting.
That's not
so
good.
That's probably going to mean a stronger 0Z run on all the models. Guarantee it. I think the models will fix itself by definitely tomorrow morning.
And
once we get Recon.
I do think the day of decision for the system will likely be the beginning of tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
That will decide our fate. I really, especially with the trough pushing it more north, it has time over the loop current, but fast systems, they don't up well, but they also don't have as much time.
Okay.
However, with the way the outflow
I have some news. It looks like John either just has or is right about to make landfall in Mexico, based on satellite.
Someone asked, "Could we get a track on the hurricane hunters?" Let's update it. Let's see where the hurricane hunters are at. Sometimes hurricane hunters, when they begin to take off, don't get that as often.
Yeah, we're not.
So
we don't have an update on it just yet.
We will respectfully know. I will say though, the storm is breathing really fine. Besides a little bit of shear from that upper level low, but then that upper level low is giving it moisture. So is it really weakening it? I don't think so. I think it's just balancing it. You know what I mean, Yoshi? It's strengthening it, but it's not letting it
It's a
close
balancing
off
act.
as easy.
I'm working at it.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Kind of doing the balancing act.
Okay, we're getting some more frames, and we have another burst of convection to the south that looks like it's going to latch on to this big burst of convection near the center over here. Also
There's
noticing
also a
that
very
that convection to the north of it is starting to level off a little bit, so that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign, because normally you'd want this sounds contradictory, but in a developing system, you'd want this convection over here because that would keep the system off balance and it would take more time to consolidate it. Now you're starting to notice this big burst is starting to consolidate a bit. Is starting
Right
to
near the
consolidate.
center.
Yeah, that looks like that's going to be the main area now. We're starting to see this level off a bit as well. So yeah, that's not good. And also, hey Yoshi, is it diurnal min still right now?
It's a bit past that.
Okay. All right.
So I'm guessing is E mid means the time where convection wouldn't blow up.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yeah. Oh wow, we have 465 people in the stream right now. That's pretty good. Be sure to like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Also share this with a friend if you want to get them more engaged with weather. Let's try to get to 500 peak tonight, and then we'll see what we do tomorrow. So yeah, that's pretty incredible so far. But overall, the analysis.
All right, I got
on
very
satellite.
good news.
What's up?
I got very good news. I got the interactive map up.
All right.
Yes. And for people in Tallahassee, you are very close to the center. You are
Ooh.
super close so far.
I'm gonna go ahead and show
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, so this is the track right now. It will likely change, but yes, you are very close to the center. The area of landfall right now is on a wildlife refuge south of Buckhorn and Nut All Rise. Nice name, Florida. Good job. I had to say that on stream. I hate it.
All right.
Anyhow, yeah, the landfall area is just south of Nut All Rise. Sorry. Oops.
Okay, we got another
yes, that's
$10
where the landfall
donation,
point is.
guys, from Austin Simpson. Keep this away from Tampa Bay. Keep this away from Tampa Bay, please. Yeah, we absolutely agree with you on that. That's crazy. So
We do agree on that. Tampa Bay does not need a bay of water from the storm.
that is insane.
Damn.
Wow. But yeah, Tristan, continue.
But yes, yes, it is right next to Tallahassee. Question is with the new center relocation, will this shift east and allow Tallahassee to have a breather? Will they allow it to only have the edge of the storm? However, it is going to be a huge storm, so we don't know completely if Tallahassee will be out of the woods. And that's the cool part about forecasting this system. We have to wait. And unfortunately, by the time this thing starts rapidly intensifying, the trough is going to come in and start pushing it more north, and you're only going to have very little time. So this is a very tricky forecast to tell you. I'll tell you this. This is tricky. It could change at any moment.
Yeah.
But so far, Tallahassee is near it. They're very close to it, actually. If you look at the Metro Tallahassee versus the center on the NAT, it's right there. It's just right there. And if I get this off, yeah, look. Metro Tallahassee, here, that's not far at all. Like what? How many miles would this be?
Can you
I
send?
might calculate that in a minute. But yeah,
Can you
Tallahassee are
send
very
the-
close for now.
What's
They're
up, Weather
very close.
Kingdom?
Can he send like a full GIF or whatever
Send.
of the icon model?
We don't have it fully out yet. I don't think.
Okay.
What's the latest
Okay.
frame on it, Yoshi?
Huh?
What's the latest frame on the icon?
I have to check. I have to go for a minute, man.
That's fine. But
I have a
You're good.
question. How are you getting the icon data? It shows on 18Z for me.
Weather pivotal, the pivotal website.
Oh, Pivotal Weather?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it actually right now.
Yeah, I'll take a look real quickly. Okay.
I'm guessing this is the tropical model,
Yeah.
right? good because I don't want to
Okay, there we
use
go.
it for sadness.
Okay, we're at 90 hours out for the 0Z. 96 hours. Okay, this system's already... Okay. I'm going to need to shift
It's crazy
this.
how quickly this is going to be making landfall soon. Not soon, but
Okay.
Yeah, that's why we said we got
All right,
very little time.
all right, we're down to... All right, we're at 966 millibars. This is just west of Tampa Bay. That's not
Around
good.
the eye wall, the strongest I found is 101 knots. So let's just do an estimation here. What's 101 knots to miles per hour?
That's
116.229.
Yeah.
Okay. 100.
That's
That
116.
would round down to 115 miles.
Yeah.
But look how huge it is.
Yep.
Oh, and then it swings off. It keeps a lot of its wind field. So some models actually want Cat 1 wind. The icon wants Cat 1 winds on South Carolina. Interesting. This is not set in stone, but this is an interesting forecast. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
That's what the icon shows. That's very interesting.
Convection continues to fire up.
Oh, yeah.
I hope this system doesn't suddenly do a 24-hour explosion from a tropical storm to a major instantaneously. I really hope not. The conditions are heavenly. It just doesn't have much time. I hope that time difference makes it a lot more liable not to be as bad. But either way, y'all need to prepare for a dangerous situation, just in case.
Yeah. Okay. Those
we don't
minus
know
80
everything.
cloud tops in that big burst over there, they're growing with the convection. That's not
So,
good.
Yoshi, I have a question for you. Do you think that the storm is so close to a stacking that it's able to emit a lot of good convection, or do you think it's something? Do you think it's just the time frame of the day?
Are you talking to who? Are you talking to?
Yoshi, I'm talking to Yoshi if he's there.
He's not in here right now.
Oh,
He's got to go for a sec. But yeah,
all right.
I check
Well,
live no
it'll
mic,
just
and
be-
I want you guys to check live no mic, and I want your thoughts on that satellite image.
Not liking it.
Oh no.
I do
Not
like the
liking
faster motion. It gives it less time to strengthen. We'll tell you.
It's not really. It's going 6 miles an hour right now, and it
But the
actually went
National
from
Hurricane Center
7 to
does
6.
show it going very
Picking
fast.
up.
Is that Yoshi? Yoshi? Hi, Yoshi. I was
Hey.
just trying to ask you a question. You disappeared.
What is
I
it?
was asking you, do you think the time of day is making the convection, or do you think the centers are very close to stack? Or
My
stack?
internet keeps cutting out. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yoshi?
He's having some issues.
Mic
Some
trouble?
technical difficulties.
Yep. Anyway, John, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
You made landfall, by the way, I think.
It's actually pretty close. I don't think I've made landfall quite yet. It's
Yeah.
Can
really
you hear us,
close, though.
Yoshi?
All right.
Can you make landfall right now?
I would rather just
Hopefully
not
within
hit
the
at
next
all, but-
hour, I would say.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
All right,
It's
Yoshi,
being-
go
Yoshi?
ahead.
Can you hear us?
My internet is being as sucky as the last recon pass. Anyways, Tristan, can you give me the question again?
I was asking real quick, do you think it's not completely stacked, but do you think it's stacked enough to where it's able to do this convection? Or do you think it's just the time of day? Oh,
It's probably stacked enough as to where it
Okay.
can definitely
All right.
strengthen. They've been getting closer and closer all night, and I think 3 hours would do it, honestly. They're not completely stacked, but they're stacked enough, I'd say.
Yeah.
and once this upper level low goes away, or goes a little bit more west,
Yeah.
I do think that the system is going to.
Yeah. You know
That's
who
interesting.
you know who I'd really want in this VC right now, who I think could really give some insight?
David.
Read to
Well,
me.
not David, but him too, but Kaiser, because he's really good with this stuff. And I think I really wish I could he'd be in here, because I think he could really give us some insight on all of this, just from a different perspective. Because we all like.
When is Recon going?
I have no idea where Recon is.
That
It's
kind of bothered me.
I guess we're just staying on the ground for now.
I think Recon was supposed to go in at 1 in the morning.
Let
Oh.
me look at that. Let me look at that. That's kind of concerning.
What?
It's been staying in the same place for over an hour now.
yeah.
Is this in lives?
That's
What are we
nothing.
looking at?
That's not concerning at all. But I will say it is nice to have this 1 minute imagery, satellite imagery right here. It is really nice to have that, because now we get a better evolution of this and a better situational look at it. So, there's
Someone
that.
meteorologically smarter than me, can you go look at live Nomic?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not good at that.
Where is this? Where was this taken?
I believe. Oh God, I don't know. I was just sent this. I believe, most likely somewhere around the landfall area or Tampa Bay.
Huh. Cape's all right. Shear's definitely there. That looks more like a severe weather setup than a tropical setup, though. Minus the
What time frame is
temperature
this? This is
being close
Thursday.
together.
That's interesting. That's from the. Why are people using the NAM? Oh God, that's a mistake.
Ah.
The
Yeah,
NAM
do
was
not-
overdue days with
yeah.
Using
tropical
NAM?
systems.
Wait, I just
don't
realized.
know.
Oh, they are using NAM. Discredit this, then. Discredit it. I'm believing it.
I would
I'm believing
rather. I'm just curious, right? What is the actually? You know what? I want to do a comparison from the storm's landfall later to right now. Where's the Storm Prediction Center analysis of the sound? There we go. I like reading these. So let's go to Key West. Let me see. Not much SRH. Shears only said not. I like using these tornado potential, especially the tropical.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
There's
interesting.
nothing right.
Yeah. Hey, Yoshi, what's your thoughts on this big burst of convection over here? We're seeing minus 80 starting to really build up.
Let me check A-whips.
Yeah.
Ooh, is that where the center is?
But possible center, yes.
Ooh, okay. It might be doing something. It might be trying to do a TCG.
Ooh, that's not good.
So basically, you think it's finally doing its moment?
It's definitely trying. I'm not going to say if it's going to work or not since I don't know that, but it's
Yep.
trying.
What do you mean, like a TC moment? Like getting a
TCG.
tropical psychogenesis?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of good that it was struggling a little. I will give it that. That's some good. But the convection is very explosive.
Yeah,
I will say
very.
it's very good news. The longer
gonna
this
agree.
takes to do what it needs to do, the better it is for the people.
Yeah.
I will say it's much better.
Building your online
Tropical
business?
TCG, for someone who asks, is Tropical Cyclone Genesis.
Yeah.
Basically, the formation of a tropical cyclone.
Yep. Just want to make that clear. Yeah. So anyway, what Weather Kingdom? What's your take?
My take, I mean, seeing it on satellite, I do think it's definitely, like he said, it's trying to. One thing I will notice, I have noticed, is there is sheer on this quite a bit, because you can tell by those shallow convection how they're constricted in one spot and getting blown to the northeast
Yeah.
kind of bit. So there's a little bit of shear on it, and that might be helping this to keep it from rapidly intensifying this
For now.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have some concerning icon stuff over here. Icon EPS. For the people that don't know in here, which I didn't know until a couple months ago, so don't worry, I didn't know
That's
one
fine.
time. But Icon actually has an EPS. It has ensembles, which not many people don't know. The thing with those ensembles, go to Live No Mic if you can, guys. I've posted one from 18Z and I've posted one from 0Z. Same frame, same time frame.
Oh, it's a lot more
look at it.
concentrated.
Yeah, the 994. The 994 was like, it's messy, very messy. It's all around. Have a look at this. Look at the new one has a 992. It's more concentrated. You see those deep purples? That's concerning.
All right. Yeah, I'm watching that. I'm going to go ahead and show this real quickly, just to give context to everybody. Here's the 18Z. As you can tell with these ensembles, they're a lot more spread out, a lot more disjointed. This is the 0Z, much more concentrated over here on the extreme southern region of the Big Bend. So, yeah. Yeah. Have any of the 0Z runs started to render yet?
No.
No.
Okay.
CMC should start at about 11:30, and GFS starts at 11:40.
All right. The reason
I'm pretty sure. I'm not
that's fine.
as confident.
Sure. The reason I'm
No,
asking is because we're not showing you the 18Z runs. We've shown you samples of them, but we're not fully showing you them, mainly because they didn't take into account the relocation of the center. They didn't take into account the model data that was put in there from the recon was a bit incomplete.
Yeah. Are we allowed a curse word?
You get one curse word.
They were fucked.
Yep. They were.
But 0Z. The reason I'm trusting 0Z, a couple things. One is that it actually looks at the center relocation more than likely. Two, that it has overwritten some of the wrong recon data.
We got an update on John, apparently.
Ooh.
It's service temporarily unavailable, though.
That's funny.
Are you serious?
Sorry, guys.
Get your service back up.
Wait a minute.
Sorry, guys. It's all my fault.
Bro, what did you do?
You're using like 5 computers.
Okay. Bro, that's the meme of the
was.
night. That's the meme of the night. The NHC website going down. What's up?
Wait, what? Wait. The NHC website went down?
No, it's not. It's not. It's just the service is unavailable in some aspects of it.
Hold on, let me see.
Oh, okay.
Never mind.
John's
making
landfall.
Yep.
Satellite data indicates that Hurricane John has made landfall on the southern coast of Mexico, just to the southwest of Martagena, Mexico. I hope I said that right. In the state of Guerrero, at around 9:15 p.m. Central. Maximum sustained winds and landfall are estimated at 120. The minimum central pressure is 959 millibars. This makes John a Category 3 hurricane on the wind scale. I hope they like Macarenas down there of rain. All right.
Yep. John has made landfall. So
John gets retired.
Well, what I will tell you now is this changes the ball game completely, because now that John's made landfall, whatever wind shear that John is sending over to this PTC is going to be gone in the next 12 to 24 hours.
Depending on how rapid it weakens, though.
Usually they weaken rapidly.
Yeah, in Mexico, because of its topography and considering there's a crap ton of mountains over where the system is making landfall, it's going to weaken, and it's already probably weakening right now as we speak. Like, it's probably already down to 115. That's how small the system is.
And that's another thing.
Wait, John, why don't you go up in Mexico?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's just our update right there. It made landfall, and now this game, the game has changed. So,
And by the way, for people that are wondering, I have MBot right now.
you what?
So if any MBot, it's an alert
yeah.
thing that I use
I
to
see
get
it.
notifications either early or what's going on. So the moment
When-
something happens on the stream, I'm going to get the few NWSs up that I need. I am going to communicate the data, and I can get actual discussions from the National Weather Service too, talking about what they expect for their areas. We can actually give more information the moment I'm finished this.
Okay, there's two things I want to mention real quickly. Number one, PTC9 is taking a considerable shift to the west. And number two, that big burst of convection, let me go ahead and show you this real quickly in live no mic. For all of you here, you guys want to take a look, are going to want to take a look at that. The big burst of convection.
I see.
Yeah, it's starting to really blow up, and it's really starting to concentrate around that center.
Like I said, I think it's gonna clip Cuba or go right between the peninsula.
Yeah.
The question is, how fast
Nice.
does that trough pick it up?
Yep.
True.
Yeah. So,
Do you guys think this is a tropical storm in reality? And
Yes.
the National
Yes.
Hurricanes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think they are
Easily.
waiting for data, considering that satellite and recon can show two different stories. They can tell two different stories.
can the recon please update so we can figure out what the heck is going on?
Hey, let them take their
They
time.
I
have.
know.
They have two.
I know.
Yeah. Look. Scroll
Guys-
down. Scroll.
Guys, don't bully the National Hurricane Center. Don't bully them.
Don't. They do an incredible
Yo,
job. and
yo,
the
we can't-
people-
NHC are bullied now.
Yeah, we can't be leafies
Uh,
here and bully the NHC.
Only I got that joke.
Oh, my. But I will say, for the people that take their time to go out of their lives to go into these dangerous storms that get data for us to protect people's lives and property, they earn all the respect.
Yeah, they definitely do. The job they do is absolutely incredible, and I have the utmost respect for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I would just ride on a drone and go into the middle of the storm, but that's me.
Yeah.
Me too. Me too.
I would just be on a drone data surfboard. There we go. That would be cool. Imagine we had those.
Yeah.
That would be
I want to go chase a major hurricane one day.
in a surfboard with data and stuff. You just have a protective suit. Oh yeah, that would be great. Oh,
Bruh.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay, be sure you like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps us get more people engaged with weather, and it really helps out a lot. So, okay.
And I got some good news. I actually got area forecast discussions from the NWSs that are going to be in the pack.
Wonderful.
So, do we want to take
Which
a look at one or
NWS?
two? I can do Tallahassee because I think that's the most important one right now. And I
Yeah,
get
Tallahassee is
Jacksonville.
good. I've already seen the Tampas, and they're not doing really anything special.
Okay, so we can go over Tallahassee and Jacksonville to help our viewers out here.
I'd say Tallahassee and maybe
Where's the AFD?
Jacksonville, because their western part is going to be under the main part of the storm potentially. So it would be the
Yeah,
NWS Jacksonville, NWS Tallahassee.
that's their
Right.
update. That's their update. Let's go over this. Let's go over the update portion of it briefly, and then
So here's the update. The weather's quiet right now. Otherwise, the 11 p.m. advisory has some major changes to the other advisory. Yeah, they said major hurricane. Watches could be issued as soon as 5 a.m. tomorrow, though 11 a.m. if it slows down. So anybody on the Gulf Coast, between 5 and 11 a.m., expect some, I think, hurricane watches, tropical storm watches. Expect that. We got a time frame now. That's excellent. So, Tallahassee market, you will likely get your hurricane or tropical storm watches between the 5 a.m. and the 11 a.m. advisory. So 5, 8, and 11. Let's go to Jacksonville real quick. I'm curious of what they're saying here. Long term, PTC 9 is currently moving on the Northwest Caribbean with further intensification anticipated as it makes its way northward towards the Gulf of Mexico. The current forecast has it to western, northwestern Florida, heavy rain. Tornado development is the primary concern with strong winds. They mentioned tornadoes. There you go. There it is.
In the meantime, we got a couple new bursts of convection. First one which is a bit more concerning is the one just to the east of that slot over there, between the big burst and this one over here, and we have several little pop-ups of convection in the extreme northeastern fringe of 9.
But yeah, so the threats for Jacksonville, what they're saying right now is definitely strong winds, flooding, and tornado development. Like I've been saying, the tornado risk is going to be a question mark until closer to landfall. This is one of those times where it's going to be a bit more unpredictable, as the evolution of the storm will be somewhat unknown until we get really close. I will say, though, I am expecting a good storm relative helicity values due to the trough and the storm combined, and with its faster motion. I am expecting some spin in the atmosphere. So we're likely expecting a tornado watch during landfall time, aren't we? We're expecting a tornado watch.
All right.
If the tornado watch, let's just assume this cone stays. We're just going to do an exercise. If this cone were to stay, the tornado watch, the watches, depending on the banding, would be from, depending on the size of the storm. Remember, this is multiple assumptions, so it may not stay. Tornado watches from central eastern Georgia, maybe part of South Carolina, towards west central Florida peninsula and north. That would be your best spot for some tropical supercells capable of producing tornadoes.
All right.
And the possible tornado watches, depending on the evolution and the banding. That's just a guess right now. Remember that. We have to wait to see what the storm does. I am expecting a slight risk of tornado somewhere.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Tristan. Okay. First of all, I see you're watching my stream on your live.
Yeah, I'm
over
making
there.
sure. I'm making sure the viewers get their question answered on
For
phone
sure.
and computer.
For sure.
Yes,
It's good you do that. But anyway, let's go ahead and do this.
I'll be right back.
All right.
I do apologize.
While you're doing that,
When does the GFS come out?
in a few minutes, it starts rendering in a few minutes, but
It's gonna render by 11:38, 11:39.
sure. Yeah. Savi, did you want to say anything?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hold on. I'm just trying to figure out how I can get satellite up. Cause my thing tends to be behind because I'm on mobile.
That's fine.
So yeah, I rely on y'all.
I'll go ahead and
what
I'll go ahead and do for you is, if you can see this, I'll go ahead and stream my view for you, so that way you can get a quick analysis of it.
I'm about to go in.
All right, can you see it?
Hold on. Yeah.
All right. What's your what do you want to add to this?
What's this thing that's connecting the whole storms south of the lower level center?
That's your
Like
big
that
burst
little-
of convection right there. That
And then you go to the left of it right there.
Are you referring to the big giant burst of -80 cloud tops?
No, that line west of the LLC.
That's some sort of weird outflow boundary, it seems.
It is.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
some weird outflow boundary. Well, more outflow. You know what that means.
That's gonna help the storm.
Oh, yeah. No kidding.
Good thing I pointed that out.
Yeah, I was looking at that earlier. I was noticing it quietly. But anyway, Yoshi, do you have any final thoughts on this whole system?
Not really. I've been waiting for GFS. Come out in a few minutes. So.
All right. Okay, Tristan, are you there? Are you back?
If you notice that on the evolution too, it's helping the system. It's helping it consolidate more.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it definitely is. All right, John, do you have any thoughts?
All I'll say is prepare for the worst. I mean, we've said this before. I mean, if the worst doesn't happen, hey, at least you're prepared for the next storm.
All right. All right, Weather Kingdom.
Pretty much to wrap this all up, we're gonna be expecting potentially at least a low end 3 right now from the National Hurricane Center. My forecast, I'm going with a upper end category 3 to a low end 4.
All right.
I think tonight is gonna be what's gonna happen when we wake up. Is this convection just gonna become? Is this just gonna organize throughout tonight, and then tomorrow we expect some pretty good strengthening throughout the day? I do think that is most likely at this point, and I think the 0Z runs and the hurricane runs are definitely going to be back into those Cat 4s and Cat 5 scenarios. But once again, I think upper end category 3 to a low end 4 as of right now. Only if we see some breaking news by tomorrow night, if we do another live stream and this is like a category 2 rapidly strengthening, then okay, that's a whole different ball game. But I think everyone else can pretty much say the same thing, that now it's more of a now casting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just have to wait until Recon gets into it and helps.
I'm gonna be up all night long mostly, so I'm gonna be watching.
Yeah. Okay. We got a $10 donation from McKenna once again. Thank you very much for that. Go ahead, Savi.
To get the points off, don't look at miles until Recon. Look at it, but take it with a grain of salt. I think Recon is 1 a.m. from what I've heard, but
same.
But
yeah. Hey.
The bottom line of the storm is expect the worst, but expect the worst, but hope for the best. As the storm could easily uptrend, and I'm forecasting a Cat 3 to Cat 4, 120 to 130 mile an hour in knots. It's 105 to 115, I think. But yeah, that's my whole thing.
All right, so I got 2 updates. First off, Recon's updated. They're going out of Gulfport, boys.
Oh my god.
We're going over.
Let's
and
go.
2,
right now?
Yeah,
Come on, let's do it.
running.
How long are we staying on the stream, by the way? Were we ending or?
We're about
Due to these
to.
2 things, I'd say unlikely.
You sure? I don't see it.
It looks like it's just
Recon
taken
update?
off.
I'll share.
Is Recon in the storm yet?
No.
No, they just started their flight. And by the way, Pat, I think that convection burst north of the very huge area, I think that's its center. Honestly.
I think so too.
Where the one that's blowing up at the -80s?
Yes, just south of the big sort of out.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I'm seeing it. Oh, it's definitely looking more and more like it. Also noticing though, and this may be just me thinking too much about it, but PTC 9 on the DIAPA website is down. It says 0 millibars when it comes to the pressure.
Oh my god, guys, black hole.
Interesting.
Oh,
Are they going
I want y'all to go to live no mic and check out the initialization for 0Z and see if it's good enough.
Let me take a look.
I think so.
Let me take a look. This is for the GFS.
GFS.
I would like to say that I kind of don't still trust the models until Recon comes in, but I think 00Z is normally better than.
Oh yeah, it definitely gets
So
rid of a
we'll
lot of the
still say
issues.
take this somewhat with a grain of salt, and I think by tomorrow we'll get a lot more information about what this.
I think this looks more organized than GFS right now. If I had to argue.
It initialized good though. It initialized at 8 p.m.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah.
very curious what's gonna be that convection burst in
Yeah.
the next coming hours.
But yeah, this turned to 0
What I
milli.
hope for is that this system suddenly doesn't produce a bunch of convection like Debbie did. It did an explosion, and we were like, "This is bad," and then suddenly it messed up. I hope it does that.
I hope it does that, but at the same time, though, it didn't have the dry air issues. Doesn't have the dry air issues Debbie is facing, and
No, it only
that
has a little bit
burst
of
of
shear
convection
from
is
the
expanding
upper
a lot more than Debbie was. We were seeing typically minus 70s, a little minus 80s. This is all minus 80s right here. That OHC, it's
Why-
tapping into a huge OHC bank right now.
Here's
Good
my
Lord.
biggest question. This is the most interesting thing that I want an opinion on for all of you.
Sure.
Let's say the storm had the best conditions to rapidly intensify. Let's just say that it blew up. What category do you think? Because on the one hand, it has the perfect conditions and your trough is
Yep.
doing good outflow, right? But on the other hand, at the same time, the trough is making it faster, making it have less time overhead. So balancing that out, what do you think the intensity will be?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I could easily see. I could easily.
say.
What's up?
I think I could say for what this is saying. I think Cat 3. I think the expected should be low in Cat 3 to high in Cat 3
Yeah.
at the least.
Yeah.
I would say, depending on the evolution, I'm going a little bit wider because, we got to watch this thing.
Yeah.
Mid-range 3 to a low-end 4.
Yeah. Before I say my piece, go ahead and everyone in the chat, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. It's the link in the description over there. I've been getting more active as of recent, so go ahead and follow me over there. But in my case,
What's your Twitter,
I could
Pat?
easily see a Cat 4 easily in those conditions that
Yeah.
you're bringing up. Easily. What are your guys?
I think the
question-
high ceiling is.
I wonder why the models
Strange.
wanted so much rapid intensification with this when it had such little time. It's interesting, right? It's kind of like it has heavenly conditions, but it has little time because of the way it's structured.
I wouldn't say it necessarily has too little time. It definitely has a little bit of a limit, but it's not as large as it's not as much of a limit as I would argue, because this I will say. Yeah. Go ahead.
You're right on that, because we've seen Storm, Zeta, Michael. We've seen all of them go from we're just a struggling tropical storm to
oh
a
my
major
God.
hurricane in 12 hours.
Yep.
We've seen that before.
What happened?
Yeah.
Oh, you're looking at the convection? I am too.
It's blowing up
Oh,
massively.
damn.
I think it's Helene by 5.
Oh
Or
yeah,
2.
easily.
Depends on
Easy.
did Yoshi have to go? I want to ask Yoshi. Do you think a name will come out by 2 or 5?
Actually, I have a good question.
Probably
On
by
the app.
5. I wouldn't say 2 just yet, but I am expecting 5.
5?
I have a
Okay.
question.
I can
Go ahead.
accept that.
Pat, can you go back to the that minute? Can you go to visible?
Viz.
Because visible.
Hmm?
I know there's an outflow boundary, but do you see a little vortice on that? I think it's still detached.
Where
the
at?
mid-level, and if you play it, you could tell there's a little vortice that is coming out on the northern side where there's no convection on the north western side.
Northwestern side. Thanks, duly noted.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm just overthinking it with the clouds.
850 millibar velocity could give me a clue.
It looks like that thing is still helping the storm.
No, it
too.
looks. I will tell you this. It looks a little. Okay, I will say this. This is going off the 0000 UTC. This might be a little old. The rotation is very compact. like it's extremely. It's a tiny bit broad on the southern side,
Ooh.
but it's so tight that it would. I don't think that would limit it at all. I think that's just convection blowing up in Central America, making it look a tiny bit broad. In
Ooh.
my opinion, I think going on.
I think once this gets to like Cuba, I think the structure will improve dramatically.
Is
Oh.
it concerning that the convection from Central America is trying to connect with the system?
Very
Yeah, I
good.
noticed that. I noticed that.
Yes.
I'm very curious on, is this tropical cyclone related? If that's the case, what's going on in Central America? Those thunderstorms look scary. I hope they're not having too many landslide issues.
Same here.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey guys.
Hey Mia, what's up?
Also, hi. Yo, I just want to ask, did y'all see that John just made landfall?
Yeah,
Yes.
we covered
Okay,
it.
that's why I was
Yes,
like,
and
let
he's
me
strong
see.
too.
Okay, because I just wanted to make sure y'all knew.
We did.
So,
Anyway,
okay.
Thank you.
all right. Weather Kingdom, what are your thoughts on what we saw tonight?
I think we are seeing a improving system. Yes, there is some shear, but I think by tomorrow morning, alpha boundary will slowly but surely whisk in the winds. That vortice thing. Do you have an answer on that? Actually,
Oh yeah, I know what
I
you're
have a
talking
question.
about.
Where are you seeing the outflow boundary? Is it on this western side?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
That
You
is
can
from the
easily-
storm by itself. That's when thunderstorms collapse and blow out cold air.
All right.
So that's
is
from the system itself. That's not from anything else going on. I think it's doing it because of the shear.
yeah,
It
and
does.
it's trying to
Yeah. So it's from the storm itself.
So, with this shear being in place, you guys, do you guys think the shear? What's causing this shear? Is it because
The
of?
upper level low located over the
Yeah.
it's pulling moisture in for the storm, but it's also
Did the
shearing it
models really
cold.
see that? I don't think the models really saw that.
Okay, we got a $10 donation. I am
Oh.
here in Land O'Lakes. I love seeing young minds working. I have been saying since the beginning that I've had a feeling this is going to closer to Tampa than any of these runs are showing. Okay, members of Jesus family, thank you for the $10 donation. That is very appreciated. Matter of fact, thank you for everyone who has supported the channel tonight, whether it's liking the video, subscribing, donating, becoming a new member. It really helps us continue this coverage, and we're going to continue doing this all week. So, yeah.
Yep. And I will be making more updates on my channel too.
Yeah, Weather Kingdom. First of all, congrats on the new congrats on the success of your recent video, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
50 views is for
Congrats.
Yeah, is really no joke for any channel. Go ahead and subscribe to Weather Kingdom. His link is in the is right there for you guys. Let's try to get him to 130, actually 125, 130 or 130 subs. Let's go for 125 just for the fun of it.
Hey, Weather Kingdom.
Yeah.
Weather Kingdom. Is it possible that we could collab in the future?
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, possibly.
Oh, heck yeah.
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 Yeah, I wouldn't see
I
why.
would definitely do that.
All right. Yeah. I will tell you this, Weather Kingdom, when you get to the point where you get monetized and you stream for the first time afterward, I will throw the first donation on your stream. You've been such a wonderful help for me tonight. I figured I'd return the favor for you.
Thanks, but you don't have to.
It's a kind of a way of goodwill. Anyway,
thanks, man.
No problem. Anyway, let's go ahead. Anyway, what are your final thoughts on this while we still are here?
I got. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Weather Kingdom.
I honestly think this is going to be a quite major hurricane. Going into Florida, I think we're gonna have a lot of flooding. The storm surge is gonna be bad, and I think tomorrow we're gonna really see the evolution of this soon to be Hurricane Helene, and probably by tomorrow morning, tropical storm Helene.
I
Yeah.
don't like the initiation of the GFS. I don't trust it.
Me neither.
There was
Let's wait.
basically no
You know
convection
why?
at the center.
Because it starts off at the center right now, but then it tries to keep the old center after no, I don't agree with that. Respectfully.
To be honest,
It's
GFS
still
is
having
awful.
problems. Honestly, I just want to wait for the recon. I don't even want.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for recon. I don't trust that. Respect.
Let's wait for the recon for sure. But anyway, is there any final
Ask
thoughts
that.
you
I'm
want to say,
curious.
Savvy?
Yes. Boston, I think if you can get that convection and all that to realign with the center, it's still not completely realigned yet. It's getting closer. It's the closest it's been all day, but for it to be named, I'm gonna need all that to wrap around and realign with the mid-level center. The lower level center is almost there though, but I'm gonna need it to realign a little more to the north so it can be named. And then, of course, that'll happen with due time. I think it'll be named at like 2 to 5 a.m. because
Yeah.
this storm is already set up to be good. And I'm concerned because the relocation to the east, I feel like it might set the storm up to be better because it may go into the environment and take advantage of it more. But it wouldn't matter on the movement anyway because it'll already go into it. But I think with the way it's set up, it's looking good for the storm. And John will and about John's out shear and stuff, it'll weaken so fast, like because the terrain on Mexico, it won't do much to impact the storm because of that, in my opinion. And I think but we'll have to see if the convection relocates again. But I don't think that'll
Yeah.
happen. I think harsh
The
environment.
more it relocates,
Let Savvy finish,
actually,
Tristan.
the better. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's fine. I'll let Tristan talk.
All right.
That was my fault. Discord cut out. I was going to mention that the more it relocates its center, that's actually kind of a good thing because it delays intensification. I wouldn't mind it struggling for a little bit, honestly. But here's the thing that people need to realize. I don't want to say wind doesn't matter, but with the way the geography of the Gulf Coast is that it's making landfall in, the surge is your biggest threat. Even if this storm was just a Category 2, barely a 3.
Yep.
All that water that it has time to pile up
Yeah.
and how huge it might be, that is what concerns me.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and give
I think the floor of the storm is a Cat 3, in my opinion.
the
The
floor.
ceiling,
The highest strength.
Let
the floor.
let Savi finish. Go ahead.
So the floor. What I mean by the floor is the what? How do I
The floor
explain
is
it?
the minimum.
Yes, the minimum. Yeah, the floor could be a high end Cat 2 to a 3.
Yeah.
Is that? Am I being bullish? I don't know.
I would.
I think that's perfect. with the
Yeah.
conditions
Oh, okay.
that it has versus
Okay.
the speed.
But the ceiling, I don't know about a Cat 5 yet. I'm gonna say mid and Cat 4 for the ceiling.
That's pretty reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Because we don't know if this thing will move more east or west.
We also don't know how
Even
fast
PM
it will
agrees
move
with you,
because,
Savi. So
Yeah.
you're doing something
even
right.
if it has the warmest waters, the question is how long does it stay in the loop current? How fast does the trough make it go towards the coast? And does it get too close to the trough to get sheared anyway? Or is it at a good angle for outflow? That would be your three biggest questions.
Yeah, I guess.
And we're
Yeah,
not going to find that out until the storm evolutionizes and we see a little bit better of a picture.
I think we won't find this out until the storm becomes a hurricane. Not gonna lie.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree on.
So basically, after Cuba,
Basically.
Yeah.
But for people on the coast, it doesn't matter if this is a Cat 2, a Cat 5. storm
It's
surges
still
your
going
biggest
to bring
issue.
impacts.
Yeah.
Please listen to your officials and evacuate.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I'm going to go ahead and give my final thoughts. But first of all, for those who tuned in right when the stream was starting, what were your thoughts on the intro? On the kind of the music and everything, and the little animation that was in there to kind of get everything streamed up. So, what did you guys think of that? First of all, second of all, yeah.
Sorry. Go
So, you're good. That's number one. Number two, my final thoughts on this are: this is at a very high ceiling. We're already tonight seeing the big burst of convection we've all been waiting for. Now the question is, will this sustain tomorrow, or will this be one of those things that'll die off after 12 hours? I'm leaning toward this being able to sustain itself, mainly because of how it's performed over the last couple of hours, and the fact that the wind shear is going to be decreasing, and the moisture is going to continue to increase as well. So that's one thing we're paying attention to. And that's what I will kind of leave at the table right here for you tonight.
Yeah, I agree, but I think organization will start tomorrow afternoon and evening. I think after it gets named, it'll likely maintain, and then it'll organize whatever it's ready to.
I can see that happening.
My concern is that the moment they get stacked, is it going to be one of those systems where, oh, my convection is messed up, I have to do it a little more? Or is it already going to be a setup and it's just going to start going and going and going and going and going and going? Is it going to do that? Caribbean storms have a history of going from nothing to suddenly you need to run away in hours. We have seen that. A good example, Michael. What's another example? Wilma, Ida, all those storms that formed in the Caribbean. They have a history of being like, oh, I'm going to be a weak storm. Don't worry. And then suddenly you got a Cat 3 to 5 on your doorstep.
Yeah.
That's why we're so scared of these systems.
Yep, and that's why we're taking this very seriously. They go from nothing to
something fast.
Yeah.
That's why we are saying the evolution of the next 12 to 24 hours will depict everything, honestly.
Yeah.
Besides the tornadoes, that'll be more inland. We'll see what the bands do. But tornadoes,
for sure.
I'm not worried about tornadoes because I would rather have an EF0 than a Cat 3. I'll be honest here. And most tropical cyclone tornadoes are weak.
Yeah. All right. In the meantime, though, we got to pay attention to this. If you're in Florida and you're told to evacuate, evacuate. If you are told to shelter in place, shelter in place. If you are told to prepare, prepare. This is going to be a very serious situation, and we're going to have to watch what happens in the next 24 hours because that will set the tone for what happens in Florida. But in the meantime, we will continue to update you here on the Pat's Path Predictor channel. I will have a video upload at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and I will be live streaming again tomorrow night. I'm not 100% sure when. I'm shooting for 9 p.m. Eastern time, so that way we can get more information and all the data we can and get it to you guys as soon as possible. But if I get there around 9:30, don't flog me over it. I got some stuff I need to prepare anyway. But thank you for tuning in tonight. You guys have been absolutely phenomenal for everyone at Storms United and everyone for everyone at Storms United and for all of us giving you all this information. So thank you very much. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the. What's up?
Yeah.
Real quick to our viewers here, we are not experts, of course. We're just trying to warn you. So do us a favor. If you want the local information, if you want to stay updated, go to your National Weather Service office. Go to the National Hurricane Center, the Weather Prediction Center, and the Storm Prediction Center. They'll give you the latest information.
Yep.
Of course, we're going to try to give that to you. But look at your local forecast. Listen to your local officials.
Of course.
We are just giving you information and advising on our opinions and trying to save lives. At the end of the day, it is up to the officials on what happens, and it's up to Mother Nature on how the storm evolves.
Indeed. And we will leave it off on that note. Thank you very much, Tristan. with that being said, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. The goal with this channel, as always, is to get more people engaged with weather. If you want to come hang out with us at Storms United, it is in the link in the description down below. Shout out to Daniel as an official sponsor of the Pat's Path Predictor channel on my Patreon. The link to that, if you want to support me more personally and support me publicly, is in the first link in the description of this stream down below. It'd be much appreciated. You don't have to. But what's up? What's up?
Oh, nothing.
All right.
My
Okay.
bad.
All right. Well, thank you all. Thank you from all of us here tonight. We will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe.